Good morning. So how is everyone doing? I had posted in my community tab a picture of the snowflake quilt that I finished and the UFO quilt that I finished as well this week. I just started the after quilt, what I call my after quilt, and I had chosen to go to this 3-yard quilt book, and these here are all the bonus HSTs from the snowflake quilt. And so I just kind of went through all my Fabric Cafe books, and this book has, well, let me show you the front, 1 block, 3 yards, and the back. Those are all the different quilts that are in there. We are going to make Synergy, which is this quilt here. And I am going to take my bonus HSTs. I cut them to the size that's in that pattern. Can't give you that since it's not my pattern. And I'm going to just show you how to make a block. It's a 1-block wonder. So we're going to make 1 block. We're going to go to my design wall. And yes, just like Julia Child had, magic happens. So let's go and start our tutorial. So we're going to have our blocks. Oh, actually, I need this in front of me. So these are wonderful, these books. Not only, and I'm biased. Again, I'm biased because actually I love them and I used to make them all the time, and that's how I fell into now making some samples for them, because, you know, I used to post all kinds of stuff. But they have pictures for everything. So not only is everything in writing, everything is in pictures. And I just quickly have to glance the pictures. So just really quick, see pictures. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm a very visual person. So the first step is I'm going to take one of my bonus HSTs, and I'm just looking at the picture. I kind of already made this, most of this already, but it's a good refresher because this is all about placement of the fabric. If you don't have the placement of the fabric right, this block is not going to go right. So I just always double check myself. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece on here. I'm making step 1. Well, step 1 is really the HST assembly. Well, the HST assemblies is like the first thing you do. But because I had all the HSTs, all I had to do was cut them down. So now I'm doing step 1. I'm adding this little rectangle to that side. And then the other one is the rectangle gets it. Woohoo. Is that right? No. There we go. So the diagonal is this way. It's very important making this quilt that you really are looking at where these HSTs are together. All right, so there we go. Now, I did this, I just kind of pressed to the dark. Well, it gets all bunched up. So I would recommend pressing open. The HSTs are not the huge issue. Actually, the HSTs can be just pressed to one side. It's these little, like, bordering pieces. So I had already done this quilt without doing that, and my recommendation after doing the quilt is to open up your seams when you're doing the borders. And putting together also that other piece I'm going to show you. Okay, so we have, so in this book, this is step 1, right? And now I would, again, press open at this spot like this. All right. Now we're going to add our side piece, and you have to make sure you're adding this to the right side, not on this side, but on this side. And we're going to add that. Where is my scissors? Here we go. Alright, here we go. I hope everyone's having a good day today. It's been raining here quite a bit. It was snowing earlier this week, and we had like an ice mixture, but for the last 2 days it's been raining. So there I opened up, and that's where I have this one. Now I had step 1. According to this book, this is step 1, this is step 2, and now we have a finished unit A. To this finished unit A, we're going to make this into a unit B. So I'm going to take this, and let me see how this is going to go in the quilt. And this, and put that. And I'm going to iron this. And this is now a finished unit B. So now we're going to unit C assembly, and this is step 1 right here, which I did, but I didn't press it open. I don't know, I woke up this morning and I feel like I have a cold. I don't know what's going on. I think it's because literally it was over 50 degrees here. And then we went from like 11 to 50 in like a day. So now according to this, and this is unit C, step 1. Now we're going to do step 2. And this piece is going to come here to the side. And it's really easy. You just have to like follow the pictures. You know, some quilts from Fabric Cafe are easier than others. This one is an easy quilt, but you have to pay attention to which way your HST is going and which way your little border pieces are going. So now we have a finished unit C, and now we're going to make unit C into unit D. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take one of my random charm scraps. So not only was I using my my HSTs, my bonus HSTs, but I was also in this after quilt using all of my leftover, excuse me, all my leftover squares that I had left over from the white and the blue. So this became a really great project. The only thing I had to add to my after quilt as far as extra fabric that was not in my original quilt was this blue. So everything else that I used, the HSTs, these white squares, these blue squares, they all came from the Snowflake project. If you have not seen my Snowflake project, again, go to the community tab and you should find the picture there. Now, block assembly. So we need to put this block here and this block here. So together like this. And this is where I pin. And it's really important you pin. There was a section where I sewed and the lines didn't match, and it's noticeable. So this is what I say. If you don't want to worry about where things land, then this may not be the quilt for you, because this kind of needs a little bit of precision. And you know, I'm not all about that. I'm all about doing what makes you happy and wonderful and not following any quilty rules. But I will say that it is extremely noticeable, and you'll know why when I swing you over to the magic of my quilt room. And you know what, I should have left it so you could have seen it, but I noticed it when I came up this morning, and I'm like, oh, I can't show them that. And I picked it out and I relined it, and then I put it back in. So to save yourself some grief, I would recommend pinning, making sure that everything is lined up on the quilt block. If it doesn't bother you, then I would not worry about it, and I would just go with it, because this was a really good after quilt using all my bonus HSTs and all my bonus charm blocks. I'm not sure why this is curling, but we will do this a little. Oh, no wonder. I'm like, why is this not sewing? Because of course I would run out of bobbin, right? That just would make sense that I would run out of bobbin right now. I didn't check it when I came up here. Honestly, I'm a little off this morning. I hope those kiddos at school didn't give me something. I always blame them. Everybody's always sick. All right. Some of you have asked me what I'm sewing on, because I do not have my baby lock. My baby lock, Aria, that I normally sew with, is in the shop. So this is kind of like my backup machine, and it is a Pfaff Grand Quilter Hobby 1200. I actually bought it at a yard sale. And it was like one of the best buys I bought. I actually bought two really fabulous sewing machines, three fabulous sewing machines at a yard sale. This one, which is the Pfaff Hobby 1200 Grand Quilter. I have bought my Genoa Sewist, and then I have bought a very, very old vintage Singer Model 99, I think it was called. But yeah. Now let's see. I didn't put the pins back in. Let's see if it held. Oh, it held. Okay. So now I'm going to press this again, and I definitely highly recommend pressing open with this quilt. I don't like to press open a lot, but with this, if you don't, there is a ton of bulk right in this intersections. All right, here we go. So the magic, here comes the magic. So this is the block, right? Am I showing it to you correctly? Yes. This is the block. This is the intersection. And that intersection is not as a crucial intersection, except it is noticeable. When we sew this together, these intersections right here are the issue. And here we go. Show you why. Okay, here it is. So if you notice, the block is right here. And if these points don't match, because this is where in particular this one was off, like it came over here and this was off here, and it was noticeable. That's why I only say, like, if getting things to match is too stressful, don't do it. Don't do it. This quilt has that. And it would look a little wonky. I came up here and this was looking very wonky. So here is all of these blocks. So let me show you. So like you have one block here, and now we're moving the block. No, see, I got it wrong. After a while, you can't even tell because, oh, here we go, because I lined them up. Okay, so we have one block here. It's just the same one block, right? Then we are going to turn it and put it there. So let's go over here. Let me show you again. We have, this is the block. It matches there. Here we go. And then now we rotate it, and we rotate it, and we rotate it, and then we rotate it again. And that's why matching these points will get you this box looking thing with a pinwheel, and then it looks like the pinwheel is coming out in rays. Now, because this is scrappy, you know, it is a little broken up, but it's okay. It's my after quilt. So I have already put together these rows so you could see this box structure as well as this pinwheel structure and the outer pinwheel like coming out and this 4-patch looking thing. I mean, it has so many different aspects to it. So now here's the bottom, and this I haven't sewn. So we have this here, and now we're going to rotate it to here. So now that we've rotated, I can take this and add it to the already sewn, row. So we're going to come here. I'm going to show you a little bit about the row. And this is where we go. So I'm going to come here and really make sure that those bordered pieces are lined up, because I don't know what else to call those pieces. And make sure this is lined up. I don't necessarily bother to pin anywhere else. I really want to make sure that there is really pinned. Oops, I just saw something I did not like. All right, see, it shifted. So I make mistakes, it shifted. Well, before I have to see, that came out fine, but I noticed that my fabric shifted on this. So let me come in and show you that I use Jack as well. Actually, you know what I'm going to show you? I'm going to show you this. This here is like, I think, an eyebrow trimmer. I found it for $5. And I love using this thing. I turn it on, and you know what? The battery is almost dying. And I just tap it. It doesn't hurt my fabric. So far, I haven't had an issue. And it really just seam rips this really fast. All right. Here we go. We got that. My little rubber stopper to take this thing. I love this rubber stopper to take out my little threads. All right, now let's try this again. See, I guess I should have pinned all somewhat. All right, let me throw the pin there. And now I threw a pin and I can't find it. So hopefully after taping this, I will find it. All right, so here you go. We have opened this. That has made its way. And let me show you. See, it now looks like one cohesive line. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to come over here. And this, I double check that this is looking good. I step back. It's all good. Now I'm going to take this row to this row And I'm going to carefully pin all my spots. So to get this row together, I look at the rows and I go ahead and pin, making sure that those borders line up all the way through. And at this point, yeah, I would pop a pin. And this is before I pressed open this. That's why I gave you the recommendation of pressing open, because pressing to the dark just did not work. And it's a little tedious. It is. But the results, if you take the time now, are pretty amazing. Is it going to be perfect, this quilt? Nah. But at least I've tried. And here we go to another spot. Pretty much it's laying right where it needs to be. But I think when I did that other one, I got so confident and then it shifted and then it became noticeable. And now this comes here. And my last one. All right, and let me put a pin at the end so it didn't happen what happened before. All right, so I have it all pinned. And now go. And I kind of open up, let me pull you back. And so now I open this up to check my points over there. My earring is getting stuck. I got these earrings at Sparkle in Woodstock as well. So here we go. I look, is it perfect? Nah, but it's relatively on point, so I'm happy with it. And then I would add the last row, and then I would put these borders. Let's see, how long do I have? I have you recording for 24 minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that last one on there because I don't think I do that often enough for you to see. So let's come over here and show you that I put this. And this is a really good lesson especially with something that's maybe a little bit more, even though it's a one block wonder, you do have to pay attention. So I'm gonna come here and just double check that everything is still matching. I'm gonna come here with this piece, make sure all this is matching still. I go back, I look, all right. So now I'm gonna take this bottom row and I'm going to add it to this one right here. And let me bring you over back to the sewing area. And I'm gonna pin. This quilt it's a pinning quilt. And I'm going to pin here and hopefully, so I'm hoping this helps this process. I'm trying to show you, double checking that all my seams are going the right way in the back. You wouldn't have to worry about that once you pressed open. But when I made this quilt, I didn't press open. I know I said that before, but that's why it's a little different. That's why I gave you a recommendation. You don't have to follow my recommendation if you don't mind the bulk. And here we go. So what is anyone going to retreat this weekend? Let me know in the comments. I like to hear what people are doing. What kind of quilt are you working on right now? Are you working on a quilt for yourself, a quilt for a gift, a quilt for charity? What are you guys doing this weekend? I have a lot of binding to do and I have a lot of quilting to do. And last weekend I said I was going to do that, and then I didn't. I created tops instead. Just kept creating tops. I'm going to cut that off. Good time to snip some threads when you're pinning. And I don't know. There's something there's something new and exciting. So I'm going to start a series. I'm going to start a series, and this series is, I think it's going to be called the Ultimate Quilty Challenge. It's kind of based, in my mind, on the show Chopped. Someone gave a fabulous idea about my Chopped Challenge. I hadn't explained it, and I read in the comments, and it was a great idea. But where I was going with it is a little different. And you'll have to stay tuned. But it basically involves you guys. I have had fan mail. And in that fan mail, sometimes it's just envelopes of fabric that people donate to me that they just want me to have and use. And then I have some fan mail they want to swap with me, which is great. I do that as well. And then we have people like Gina who send me a whole box and says, I can't wait to see what you are going to do. And that got me thinking. And I said, you know what? In Chopped Challenge, the chefs get a box. They don't know what's in the box. They open up the lid and they start taking out, this is just in case if someone doesn't know what Chopped is. They start taking out different kinds of foods. And then the job of the chef is to figure out what to make out of those foods. Sometimes they know, sometimes it's difficult. Well, Gina sent me a package. It had a pattern, it had some yardage, and then it had some scraps, big scraps. And I got thinking, I think I'm going to do the Ultimate Quilty Challenge. It took me forever to come up with this title. And I'm going to do it as a viewer. So the first episode that I will be recording is going to be using that box that she gave me. Not everything would be used in that box. Even in the Chop Challenge, you can use as much or as little in the box. So I'm taking majority of the box. I'm taking the pattern that she sent, and I took the scraps that she sent, and I took also some of the yardage that she sent, and I'm going to create it. So stay tuned for the first episode of the Ultimate Quilty Challenge, and that one will be that would be sponsored, right? Because I guess you guys are viewers, and it's your sponsorship, right? Because you're viewing me and you're helping me grow my channel. Will be from Gina, because I already have her box. So let's see how that goes. And like I said, the other material that people have sent and donated, I will make a quilt. I will make a big quilt with that as well. I'm just not there yet. All right, so here we go, folks. I'm just gonna look again because it's easier to fix right now at the machine than later on when it's all sewn in. And we're looking pretty good. This one's off maybe by like one thread. I'm okay with that. So here's the bottom half. And now we're gonna come over to here. And I'm gonna take this bottom half. And it all matches, so we're good there. But you know what? Let me just look at something. Yeah, no, that's it. That is it. I just had to double check myself. And that is it. Okay, so I'm going to take this top piece. Now I have a top, and I have the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and sew that. So in the comments, let me know what you're up to. You can also tell me what you think of the Ultimate Quilty channel brought to you, sponsored by you guys, actually. Because I want to use the stuff you send me. And it's great because, you know, the Quilty Challenge will encompass stuff that you guys have sent me, because I want you to feel valued and loved, because I think it's wonderful that you've taken your time to specially curate something for me. But I also am part of 2 swaps. So the Quilty Challenge series will encompass my Quilty challenges. I mean, my quilt swaps, because those are challenges in itself, right? Because I have a color scheme that I'm going with, and I have to come up with something unique and different. And maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be unique and different, but something out of the box. Okay, so now I'm coming in here again and making sure that I have pinned everything. I know there's people out there that says pin everything. I just don't pin everything. This you have to pin if you want everything to match. But this pattern is really a really good use of scraps. And it's easy to figure out. If you're a beginner, maybe not so much. If you're a beginner, I would probably use the method of the 3 yards. But after a while, you'll get the hang of it. I have confidence in everyone out there. All right, there we go. So I have everything pinned. And now I'm going to come in and sew my last seam to this. But it's not really my last because I have my borders. So in this quilt, I made it bigger. I should say wider, not longer, but wider. And the reason why is because I had extra HSTs and I only had enough to add to the side. if I added to the bottom, I think it would have been long and really skinny, long and skinny, which is fine too. I could have added it to the bottom, but I chose to add it to the sides. So now, I'm not sure if I'm going to add a giant border. I'm going to add the inner border because I had already cut it. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm thinking about it. I don't want the quilt to end up being a square. I mean, it's okay if it does, but I am being very conscious about that. And I added just because I just wanted to use them up. Video is a bit long, but I really wanted to make sure you got the whole process. All right, here we go. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Ooh, that's good. This one I may have to move a little. That's good. That's good. That's good. I don't know about this one. Is that one gonna bother me? It's off just by tiniest hair. You know what? We're just gonna go with it. It's fine. I'm probably being too perfectionist about it. All right. So here we go. We have our top. And I have the border pieces here cut. And that's for another day because I actually have to get ready for work. I didn't realize what time it is. Let me put this on the board and bring you over. It's blank now. And I'm going to step back and look at it and see if there's anything that bothers me about it. And pretty much, it's looking pretty good. All right, so there you go. We have Synergy. In case you've missed it, it came out of this book. And it is this pattern right here. And it uses my bonus HSTs, my blue and white scraps, and this I did add to it. What I will do is put this skinny border. I don't know if I'm putting another border on there yet, but I'm going to add this skinny border here to enclose it. So let me show you what that would look like. And I'm going to add one over here. And so this skinny border is going in. That much I know. And then it'll have one on the top as well. And I don't know. I have to think about if I'm going to add a blue little border around it. I mean, I'm almost thinking I'm not, but who knows? I may. Anyway, everyone have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Pass it forward. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like, comment. Apparently, I was watching Brenda from Mount Scrapmore, and she says for her analytics, commenting is better. I said, oh, I didn't know because I'm very new to this. I'm not understanding analytics too much, but definitely comment, share. Sharing, I guess, helps as well. Thank you so much for all your support. I appreciate all of you, and you all have a fabulous day. Take care. Bye.